Welcome back to Macro Matters, where we dive deep into global economic trends shaping our world. Today, we're exploring a topic that's been making headlines for nearly 2 years: the economic impact of the Russia-Ukraine war. How has this conflict reshaped global markets, economies, and the lives of ordinary people? Let's break it down. First, let's set the stage. The war between Russia and Ukraine began in February 2022 and has since escalated into one of the largest geopolitical crises of our time. Ukraine is one of the world's top producers of wheat, corn, and sunflower oil, while Russia is a major exporter of oil, natural gas, and fertilizers. When two nations with such pivotal roles in global supply chains go to war, the ripple effects are felt worldwide. One of the most immediate and visible impacts has been on energy markets. Russia, which supplies roughly 40% of Europe's natural gas, slashed exports in retaliation against sanctions. This caused energy prices to soar in 2022, with natural gas prices in Europe increasing over 200% at their peak. High energy prices fueled inflation across Europe and beyond. Many European governments scrambled to secure alternative energy sources, fast-tracking investments in renewables and liquefied natural gas. However, these transitions are costly, and taxpayers are footing the bill. Meanwhile, developing countries face their own crises, as rising energy costs diverted funds from essential public services. The war also triggered a global food crisis. Ukraine's ports were blocked for months, preventing millions of tons of grain from reaching global markets. Countries in the Middle East and Africa, which rely heavily on Ukrainian wheat, experienced soaring food prices and, in some cases, shortages. A fragile grain export deal allowed some shipments to resume, but uncertainty remains. And with fertilizer prices skyrocketing due to sanctions on Russia, agricultural production globally is under strain. This isn't just about food on the table, it's about political stability in vulnerable regions. Let's not forget the economic sanctions. Over 11,000 sanctions have been imposed on Russia, targeting industries, individuals, and even central bank reserves. While these measures aimed to weaken Russia's economy, the results have been mixed. Russia's GDP contracted initially, but showed surprising resilience, thanks to higher energy prices and trade with non-Western nations like China and India. Meanwhile, Western companies pulling out of Russia have faced losses, and the fragmentation of global trade is creating long-term inefficiencies. Inflation surged worldwide due to the dual shocks of energy and food prices. Central banks responded aggressively, raising interest rates. The Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, and others have prioritized taming inflation, even at the risk of slowing economic growth. This has led to rising borrowing costs, slowing investments, and fears of recession in many countries. But was it a price worth paying to maintain global pressure on Russia? The war has accelerated some long-term economic trends. Europe is reducing its dependence on Russian energy and investing heavily in renewables. NATO countries have increased defense spending, reshaping global priorities. And new trade blocs are forming as countries like China and India strengthen ties with Russia. The Russia-Ukraine war has underscored just how interconnected our world is. Whether it's energy, food, or geopolitics, the effects of this conflict are profound and will likely shape the global economy for decades to come. At Macro Matters, we'll continue to track these changes and their implications. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next deep dive. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think the global economy will adapt to this new normal? Until next time, stay informed.